Up the Mind. I'm Dylan.
Alex.
And we are here to basically just chat with you, as we said on the first. Well, this is the pilot. That was the commercial.
Yeah.
Our last
EPL
video.
1.
Yeah. So, episode 1. That's known as the pilot. You know that in like sitcoms.
Yes.
So okay, just making sure you know.
The pilot's always the best though. We have to do sexual, something dangerous, and something with drugs to get everyone's attention. But we're not going to do that. We're going to talk about fights. We're going to talk about predictions. We're going to talk about Marvel because that's how we're going to suck you in.
Oh, because everybody loves Marvel. I'm a sucker for a good Marvel. A good Marvel theory of any kind, really. Daryl, I'm so sorry. Well, number one, Wandavision just ended last Friday, episode.
Episode 9.
Episode 9, yep, absolutely. And how was that? How were you expecting it?
You know what? We did an earlier video we weren't able to upload, so that's why this is episode 1. But I had predicted that they were going to go into Wanda more, or the Scarlet Witch more, and then give us more history of that, and then she was going to slap or clap Agatha Harkness. Goodness gracious.
There you go.
And honestly, because on the last episode, or the one that we didn't get to upload, he told me that there was a white vision, which I didn't realize, and I had to go back and find that.
He's not committed to the post-credit scenes.
It's 5 minutes before,
critical.
5 minutes after, and I watched so many of them where I was like, okay, next episode, or I was like, what's happening? Are you just going to make me sit through all these credits like normal Marvel movies?
Please stand by.
Exactly. Please stand by. Please stand by. All right.
So, anyways, that was his prediction. My prediction was they were going to introduce new villains. Krang was going to be a possibility. We were both very wrong. And then in hindsight, I don't know what you were expecting. I'm sorry if you were let down. But in hindsight, it's a TV show. It's not a Marvel movie.
That's fair.
It's a
we were
TV
thinking
show.
like a movie.
Yeah, I was thinking a movie, and it's got to have this amazing grand finale that things were going to change for the entire universe. It's a TV show.
That's true.
And what is their point? To have you get to Disney Plus? Because you're already committed. You're already committed to Disney Plus. I'm in. They want you to see more movies. So I understand. I'm not hating the game. I'm with the game. I'm in.
Fair enough. I think we put Marvel Studios at such a level, and Disney at such a level, like, you should give us movie style, greatness.
I want dessert for every meal.
I want greatness every single time. But that's okay. I'm excited for the new movies to come out whenever they come out. I think we're gonna get Winter Soldier. We are gonna get Winter Soldier before
Falcon and Soldier.
Goodness,
yeah.
Falcon and Soldier before any new movies. So we're gonna be spoiled with that, and then
absolutely
the Loki series as well.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if that's. I imagine it's probably finished in production.
It's definitely finished. I think they're all finished, or I think that's finished for sure. The series are at least, because they were able.
I'm looking forward to the Loki one first, so we can get a couple good old Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for
Yeah.
to be in the universe of Marvel.
Okay, so what ended up happening? Spoilers. Was Vision fought Vision and They beat each other with a philosophical quote.
Yeah, it was
interesting. I liked it. I thought it was classy.
Good principle.
Good principle. And I thought it was well played. Well played, Marvel.
Mm-hmm. And then, Marvel likes to have their cake and eat it too. So they can bring back. They left it to where you can have Vision whenever you want. Whenever we want Vision. Whenever we want the two superhuman children. We can have them. It's pretty much, It's open. Cards are open, but they're put away for right now, but they're open.
Yeah, in a way, I was a little bit right, like a tenth right, that they're going to go into the Scarlet Witch, because at the end, right, if you watch the post-credits, if you watched it, they showed Wanda outside sipping coffee, and then they went in the house, and then she was studying the Book of the Damned, which was all about her, basically, in Chaos Magic.
And she astral projected herself, kind of like Doctor Strange does.
Yeah.
Which makes sense for the multiverse madness or whatever.
Hands too.
So, pretty excited about whatever Marvel has to feed us coming up next. I'm with it.
Alrighty, now we're going to move on to UFC 259 review. We did a prediction. Originally, we predicted Sterling to win.
We predicted Sterling to win.
We predicted...
I didn't predict that way.
Yeah, not that way. Not at all.
I mean, there's 4 ways to win, right? You get a knockout, you can submission, you can win by decision, or you can win by DQ. That is definitely the least favorable way to win, and that's how we did it. A dub's a dub, and look, I don't think he was faking it.
I don't think he was at all.
I don't think he was.
When they panned over him the first time, don't get me wrong, I was like, oh, that's a little dramatic. But concussions are concussions. His eyes were fluttering 1,000 miles a minute. So we predicted Sterling. Sterling ended up winning, but not in the way that we thought. And then, interesting...
I'll still take my money and walk away. Exactly.
Interestingly enough, though, after the controversy that goes with it, was he really down? Was he really hurt? Like 30 minutes later, there's a picture of him toasting with the belt with his family or friends. Somebody. And
a little sketch there, Aljamain. You need to
Aljo, come on.
You need to keep your things in line. Stay in alignment.
Even DC said like, hey, he had something similar happen to him, where he fought Jones, lost with Jones. Jones eliminated himself and got the belt. He kept the belt like as low as possible as he can for photos, interviews, everything, and didn't really hold the belt because he didn't feel like a champion. Mm-hmm. But everyone's different. You do you, Aljo. Next was Nunes.
I'm not a UFC champion, so.
Next was Nunes and Anderson. I think you predicted Nunes. I predicted Anderson because I liked Anderson in her fight camp.
In her fight camp, and you also, you just liked her fight camp. You liked her coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said, look, I thought it was going to be a competitive fight. I did say that. I did think it was going to be a competitive fight.
Because of her size.
Because Megan Anderson is 6 foot. She's got good striking. But Nunes is the GOAT. Like, if you look at the quality of her fights, she's not touched. She's untouchable if you compare to basically any other fighter. If you think of any other
The only other fighter you can compare her to would have to be in the men's division, and that would have to be Khabib. It would have to be Khabib.
But Khabib, if you're getting all technical on me, he has such a different game plan where takes you down and he goes multiple rounds.
And he's consistent with it.
And it's consistently multiple rounds.
She comes out
and she'll knock you out in the first round, she'll submit you in the first round.
And she typically tries to do it in the fashion in which you're the most skilled and talented in, which makes you look even more like trash.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's why she's the GOAT.
That's why I'm saying she is the GOAT. I call her the straight up GOAT. I mean, I'm with her. When she mentioned that now that she has a baby, the lioness will always fight for its cubs, I'm like, yeah, she's not losing anytime soon. Don't bet your money against her.
Yeah. And then the last one, Izzy versus Jan Blachowicz. I think we both went with Izzy, correct?
I can't honestly remember.
I think I went with Izzy.
I don't remember what I said.
Either way,
sorry.
At this point, it doesn't matter.
Jan won
Jan
by decision.
Mm-hmm.
Look, size matters in that regard. When it comes to fighting, size matters. Going up in the lower weight classes, it is fully feasible. It is totally feasible because you're talking 10 pounds. Izzy, in the sense of like weight, he typically weighs in at 183, 184 for his fights, and that implies he's cutting a little bit, but not that much.
Probably not at all.
Yeah,
not at all, because he's
probably just working out really hard and not eating
as heavy or
amounts.
Maybe doesn't take an extra protein shake or something like he normally would.
He weighed in at 200.5 pounds.
Correct.
For this fight, but Jan weighed in at 205.
And then I think they have a day or two, right, to rehydrate?
They have basically like 36 hours because they weigh in pretty early.
So almost like a day and a half.
So I think he was probably weighing
He probably was 220.
Probably 230. He's big.
You think he went from 205 to 230 in 36 hours?
Probably 225. Let's call it 225.
225. Yeah. Otherwise, I think if he gets up to 230, probably 220, he's going to be hurting from the hydration that way. But
That's a
of
good
course, they have the sciences down to a T at this
Yeah.
point, right? They like UFC fighters, like, and some fighters have shared how they rehydrate. They have like 4 different gallons of solutions in which they'll drink, whether
Yeah.
it's like just straight water, water in like Gatorade, orange juice or something like that, right?
It's such a technical skill at this point.
Yeah, and it makes a big difference too.
Yeah, but anyways, Jan is significantly bigger than Izzy. Not in height, but in just overall size. And when it came to striking, look, I think Izzy
killed it.
He killed it.
Yeah.
Him and Jan, they went toe to toe. They both they struck well with each other. Izzy could take Jan's power, and Jan could take Izzy's power. They went back and forth. Izzy got some good shots. Jan got some good shots. But when it comes to the groundwork, just having a guy that weighs an elite level guys that weighs at least 20 pounds over you and has the same essentially skill level you do, it's different.
Yeah, especially when it comes to like any grappling or ground game like that. Like for wrestling, like that's like you're not even striking, and that's a big like difference. Like even in jiu-jitsu, right? For black belts, yes, there's fighters out there like Gordon Ryan. He naturally weighs in at probably around he like 220, 205. He wants to be 230, 250, but he has stomach issues.
We're talking about Gordon Ryan?
Yes, we're talking about Gordon Ryan, correct.
I know nothing about Gordon Ryan.
That's okay. I know a good amount about him. I like him.
I'm a boxer.
A lot of people hate him.
Jiu-jitsu guy? Boxing guy. He's come to me and like, have you seen the Russian can opener? What are you talking about?
Fair enough. But he's heavier, right? And he'll go up and depending on your skill level, right, there is a difference, but he'll go up and he'll fight people who are way bigger than him, no problem submit him because his skill level is just superior. But naturally, if you take the same level black belts and you add the different weights, the heavier one's going to win, even though they have the same exact skill. Yeah. Because weight does make a difference, and it also gives you power, and luckily you're not striking, because striking is a big offset.
Yes, very much so. So, yeah, I mean, look, it was a valiant effort by Izzy. And like you said, dare to be great. Look, it doesn't matter if you're going to fail. Go out there and try. That's look, so many people don't try. You should always try. It's always worth fighting for. It's always worth...
And I respect it.
Etch your name in greatness. So, I respect Izzy for doing it. But Jan...
Tip of the cap, sir.
Victorious, nonetheless.
And he was already a great champion to begin with. Like, I deemed him the champion. I think if John goes down and fights him, I'd probably be a little bit annoyed.
I will say...
Go ahead.
That the pound-for-pound rankings drastically shifted.
Because of Sterling?
Yeah, no... Sterling is still ranked lower than Jan in the pound-for-pound.
He's above McGregor.
McGregor's off?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sterling is now 15.
Yeah, and Izzy moved down 3 spots, and Jan moved up a few, which makes sense, because, moved up 1 weight class, couldn't get the job done, but, granted, champion versus champion. It's still a factor. So, the card, nonetheless, was great. The first fight was a little different. I was expecting to see so much more from Thiago, and then the little bit of a revelation for some of us people that aren't super deep in the fight game and super. Look, I'm not the biggest Instagram guy by any means, but turns out this monster executive is
Hans Kolem.
Yeah, is a little bit of a.
He's a Muay Thai kickboxing guy, if I'm correct.
Seems like he likes to use people to be like, hey, I need you in my pictures. So I think that's what trying to gain that clout.
Monster's been around with the UFC for so long. Like he's been partnered with Dana since like he bought the UFC, I'm pretty sure.
But the question is, just because you're an executive at a company, does that give you leverage over all of the Monster sponsors certain athletes in the UFC?
Okay, so another thing about Hans, right? He's also a photographer for the UFC. So, or was or is, I'm not sure. So he naturally also has a relationship with fighters as well too. It's not just that he's an executive. There's more backstory to it. And he's like, I don't know how old he is, but he's still doing like fights, amateur fights, professional fights.
Okay. Well,
Not
that
like
makes
high
sense.
level championship, but he's still out there
That makes
getting
sense
it.
why Dominic Cruz was like, let's get this. Let's do it. Charity. Pick your charity, monster.
We
I wanna
just
see
talked
it. I'll
about
watch
weight
it.
as well too, so we'll see how that fares if that
It's
goes
a
through.
charity fight. Charity fight, Alex. It's different.
Yeah, that's what Mike Tyson said. And he still knocked a guy out. Cool.
So what else do we got on the docket,
The
sir?
last thing we're going to talk about is we're just do some world talk right now. So Florida and Texas completely opened as soon as, or as well as
And
Mississippi.
Mississippi. Woo!
And Mississippi. We're not going to get political, but we're going to talk about.
Red state, blue state. No.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea because one, people are getting the vaccines right. They're scheduled for it. They have appointments, and if you want it, go get it right. Mm-hmm. If not, you're
The
typically not afraid of
CDC
it.
did, I think, release just today that if you have the vaccine, you're good to do. You're good to go. You go do what you want. You're fine.
No mask.
I don't know.
Mask.
I don't think. I'm not sure if that was in the recommendation or not. But you can go out. You can be in groups with people. You can do that stuff. The CDC said that was fine.
Okay, but they're not going to be like, hey, show us your certification saying that you have you have your shot. Keep it like an ID on you.
Maybe.
That's-
I think they're calling it a vaccine passport. I think I thought I heard.
That's terrible. I think that's a terrible idea. We might as well
Where are your papers?
might as well be like the Hunger
frisk ya.
Games District 13 over here. Like, show
just
me your
saying, that's-
documents.
Kinda. That's what it is. I don't understand your reference. District 13. Show me your documents. I'm not sure what his point is. I understand what you're saying, but I'm a movie guy. I enjoy movies. I enjoy a good movie. I've seen The Hunger Games multiple times. I don't know that
Well.
scene that you're speaking of, sir.
Fair enough. All right. Maybe I'm just making this up. But
You don't like the concept of somebody being able to say, "Hey, let me see your papers. Are you supposed to be here?"
yeah, it's basically it's almost like ICE. We're gonna make another police force
Yeah.
like that.
Apparently.
We're gonna put
We're gonna put
gonna
more
put
stress
normal
on the
Americans?
police.
Normal-
Yeah, put more stress on the police. Let them do it. They would love it so much.
Portland PD would love it.
You know, I was actually having a conversation with somebody that is in law enforcement yesterday,
Okay.
and I was just talking to him, and he's working his way out. He's starting a community, kind of a community development program through sports for kids, and it's awesome. But he was just talking about how overworked the Portland Police Bureau is at the moment.
As you guys know it,
Oh my
we're
gosh.
a battlefield, a war zone. You know, this is where liberals thrive and
Yeah.
Republicans die. Apparently, that's
Yeah.
what most of the world thinks, but it's not. It really isn't.
Portland's a cool spot. And
We do have a lot of protests. If you like to protest, if that's your thing, your hobby, come through, come on the bus.
All
but
the
don't
time.
stay.
Don't
Don't stay.
Don't stay.
No tents.
Or you can bring a tent. We won't know. There's a lot of them here.
Yeah. We have a city.
Yeah.
Tent city.
They're
yeah.
everywhere. They're everywhere. You find a park, there's a tent. Speaking of the tent, they moved the RV down the street from us.
I saw that. We
Yeah.
actually had an RV with that had a pipe bomb in it. Made local news
It did. So
because it went off. But
shout out Portland.
you
We're not
guys.
going to say where. You don't need to know where. But we are in Portland. If
I
you
kind of just
weren't
gave away
aware.
the destination if they.
Well, you got to do research. I'm not going to just give it to anybody. You can.
I'm gonna have
dig
faith that our fans are all in it.
So yeah, that's something that I thought was just super interesting with the fact that the passports are, I don't know who's going to verify. I don't know who's going to be the one doing the checking, but push
Trump.
come to shove, they're going to bring him back. They're going to give him a job.
You did great at this, so we're gonna have you do this, sir.
Yeah.
We won't impeach you again if you do this for us.
I don't know what the procedure, the protocol, are they going to create a new stimulus for? We're going to create this whole sector. We're going to create this whole sector to basically just police who has and who doesn't have the vaccine. So that way we can get back to somewhat normal.
So we're
life.
gonna segregate and we're going to, segregate because we know that that's worked well in the past, and we haven't had any civil rights movements as of recently.
Well, within like the last year. Last 10 months, there hasn't been anything.
What was
major.
it, like 160-day protest?
Yeah.
Something like that?
We've been lacking here in Portland, apparently.
We've been the forefront, apparently.
Yeah. So it's a crazy world out there. Just be safe. That's really
Be
all.
safe.
Look, no matter how you believe or what you think, we're just here to, like we said, mix up your mind.
Joke around, make weird faces.
We're just here to mess
Keep
around
it real.
and have conversations with you. And look, there's always going to be some dark stuff. There's always going to be some chaos out there. Just make sure to keep your head above it. I hope you're pursuing something. I hope that you're going out there and doing something for you, because that's what's really important. You. So with that,
that'll be it.
That'll be our episode for today.
Thank you guys.
Hope
like
you guys
and subscribe.
Hit the bell.
In the description.
I hear people say hit the bell because you'll be notified when we release more videos, which we will.
Love you guys.
Promise.
Thank you for the
New
support.
videos every week.